you wanted Pixar's Inside Out 2 Marvel Edition, you got it in this movie right here. Let me tell you why. Thunderbolts is directed by Jake Schreier, I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is the first movie that I've ever seen by him, so this was my first impression for him as a director. And I thought he did really well with bringing this unlikely band of anti-heroes together to solve a new problem for New York City. And the cast is amazing, jam-packed, and with Florence Pugh, who plays Yelena, and then we have Sebastian Stan, of course, who plays Bucky. Then we have Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think. She plays the villain of this film, Valentina. And then we have Louis Pullman, who plays Bob. We love Bob, by the way. And then we have David Harbour, who plays Red Guardian, who always does a good job with that character. And then we have Wyatt Russell, who plays John Walker. And may I say, I hated his character when they first introduced him into the MCU, but in this movie, I really, really grew to love him as his character. I love his growth. I think right now he has one of the best redemption arcs that is in modern day media right now. And then also we have Hannah John, who plays Ava Starr, aka Ghost, from the Ant-Man 2 movie, and she played the villain in that one. Okay, so all of these characters were villains or anti-heroes at one point, and they come together to face this new threat, who is the new villain, Valentina. Valentina she's like if you don't know, think of her, if you're like a DC fan, think of her as the Amanda Waller of the MCU. Okay, so she gets all of these unlikely, low-life criminals together to do like shady jobs for her. And then she puts them on a mission, and and she has very sinister intention on this mission that they all end up getting on together. And then they kind of, instead of the mission going out the way that she had planned it, things go south. The team band together, and now they're trying to uncover Valentina's secrets. New York City, not the world, but New York City, from this new villain who brings darkness. Okay, so now that is basically the entire plot of this film. And moving forward, I'm only going to talk about spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, I'm gonna deep dive into the plot now and talk more about it. So this is my warning, spoiler alert. From here on out, I'm talking about spoilers. Some things that I really, really liked about this movie is that even though the characters were primarily rejects and villains and anti-heroes, they were doing some really heroic things. And I've said this in the past, not in my reviews, but I really love when superhero movies are actually showing superheroes being superheroes and doing heroic acts and saving lives. And this movie definitely has it, and I was very proud of seeing moments like that, because nowadays we often get more movies with superheroes in it, but they're usually either solving problems that they caused themselves, or there's some interdimensional being that comes into the earth and now they have to fight it. It never really feels grounded, and that's why I love seeing ground level heroes doing, and actually just not even ground level, just heroes in general, saving an individual life, showing that they actually care about an individual. And so in this movie, there was one scene where the city was falling apart and a lot of debris was just falling from the sky, and there were people getting in danger, and all of these characters, there was not any like, hey, let's go save these people, let's go save these guys. They all just had it within themselves to be like, no, there's a person in danger, let me go help them. And so all of them did that without no type of no type of person telling them. And I thought that was so, that really shows the heart of a superhero. And I thought that was just so nice that they added that into the movie. And then another thing that I really, really liked is, oh my gosh, there's a character, Bob. Bob is the main villain. Well, not the main villain, but he's like the problem of the film. And his problem really comes from within himself. And I really liked how they showed how his powers can become so uncontrolled if he falls into the darkness that is within all of us. So in the movie, you first meet Bob, and he kind of just shows up out of nowhere while the characters are on their mission. And Bob it's like hints to them that he's kind of depressed, he's kind of lonely, he's kind of anxious. Well, he's not kind of anxious, he's very anxious at some points. Like, he's scared that his power's gonna come out and he's just gonna fall into this darkness. And he adds Yelena, and Yelena is like going through the same things. Like, she feels lonely, she feels lost, like she just lost her sister. Her dad hasn't reached out to her in over a year. Like, she feels very alone, and she feels just like Bob. And they have this conversation in the beginning of the film, and he asks her, like, how do you cope with this darkness inside of you? And she, at the beginning of the film, obviously she couldn't help him because she was in the same place. So she gave him really not some good advice. Like, she told him to just like shove it down and act like it's not there. So obviously that spirals, and that does not help him. And you see him go into like a deeper darkness throughout the film. And I just, man, and then that turns into a very, very big problem for them. And so that is something that they have to end up solving throughout the movie. And then by the end of the film, Yelena ends up going into the mind of Bob, and she's able to like see his struggle and see the dark side of him to combat his limiting beliefs. And I thought that was really, really powerful, and it really made me feel like I was watching Inside Out 2 all over again. Because in that same film, you see Riley is the main character. She's going through all this anxiety. So Joy is the one to talk anxiety through it and tell her like she's not alone, she's good enough, she's not dark, you know, she's amazing, and just to remember that she is loved. And I think that was like a really powerful message within that film, and it's the same message here in Thunderbolts. Like, Yelena was that person to remind Bob that he's not alone, he's loved, and he's a good person. And so, yeah, that was a really good message that I really took away from this film. As far as all of the characters, the team of this movie, they all get some shine, which is actually kind of crazy because normally in team films, they don't really get that much shine. This one, whoever this director is, I think he would do really good with a like Avengers 1 type movie. You know, where it's only like 6 characters on the team, and they have to work together to solve a mission, to solve a problem. And he did that really well in this one. Like, if they were to announce that he was doing like a small Avengers project with maybe like half of the team, because I know the Avengers team is so much bigger now. Like, he will do, but anyway, like, he could do it. Like, every character in this team got some shine, every character got some growth. Well, except for maybe Ghost, but even Ghost had felt more humanized to me. She felt more relatable. She was somebody that I could like, oh, okay, I like her. I can see, like, she's past her, like, anger and, like, her own personal issues that she was facing in Ant-Man 2. And, like, she's more of, like, okay, I just want to, like, survive and do what I can in this life. And that's such a relatable thing. And, like, all of the characters, in a way, have gone through something, and they all got some shine in this film. So I really, really appreciate this director for being able to do that. Another thing that I really want to talk about is the ending of this film. Valentina, that's a good villain right there. That is a very good villain. Like, Marvel usually has the problems of not having memorable villains. She does well in this film. I honestly thought she was gonna die, but then I was like, no, that'd be a waste, because if they wasted this character, like, they've been building her up since Black Widow. And so I don't see them wasting her. Like, like I said, she's like the Amanda Waller of the MCU. Like, she's the one that'll take the bad guys and manipulate them into doing missions for her and doing all this sinister stuff for her, because she's like, well, you're already bad, and you know, I can just discard you whenever I want. However, by the end of the movie, like, you feel like it looks like she's finally gonna get caught, and she's finally gonna go to jail maybe, or get impeached. I don't know how she did it so fast. Like, I know it's just a movie at the end of the day, but I tried to take away my critical brain from this concept, because I was like, there's no way she got all these people, this press right here, to get ready to film and tell the world that there's a new Avengers team or whatever. But I had to let that go. I was like, this is just a comic book movie. Come on now, just remember, it's a comic book movie. Just watch it. But anyway, I thought it was good for the plot, like, just to keep the character in. Like, she did a good job. And then, like, the ending when It looks like they're finna catch her, but then she's like, oh guys, I put this team together. These are my people, and they weren't actually fighting me. They were actually doing me a favor by getting rid of this random villain that was in the sky that was killing everybody. So yeah, these are the new Avengers, guys. And then you see all of their faces on the team like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And that's how I was. Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, and I thought that was so clever for her. So I think that was, I'm excited for the future for Valentina, what else she does for ground level heroes. Like, man, what I would really like to see is her and Kingpin. I don't know how they will ever interact, but I want to see that interaction in the movies or like in some type of way. Now, the bread and butter, the post-credit scenes of this movie. Y'all, well, the first one was kind of just comedic and it wasn't really that important, but the second one is the one that I really want y'all to like really lock in for this video for, because first things first, in the post-credit scene, they revealed that Sam Wilson is whining about them taking on the Avengers title. So at the end of this movie, they announced to the world that the Thunderbolts are the new Avengers. Obviously, if you've seen Captain America 4, you would know that Sam at the end of that movie was interested in building a new Avengers team. And so I can see his frustration, you know, and then I think now Bucky and him are not on good terms. The way they said it, like the way that scene played out, it seemed like Bucky was kind of hurt because Sam was like mad at him because they took on the team. But at the same time, Bucky is not like trying to tell them like they're not the Avengers, because, you know, like he doesn't see a problem with them being the Avengers. But anyway, obviously I think this is all just set up for East Coast and West Coast Avengers. You know, like there can be multiple Avengers teams because there are multiple Avengers teams. So I don't see a problem with it. I thought it was really interesting that they have one that's kind of more bad guy centered, but they're not really bad guys. But and then obviously Sam is probably gonna go for the morally higher people, and like the people that will believe like in the greater good, or people that are, you know, like that have a line that they probably don't cross, you know. So that team is probably going to be Sam's team. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But the biggest thing is that there was a disturbance in space. So, and obviously when they said that, I was like, oh no, this is probably either going to be an insurgent, is that what it's called, or like what are they calling it in the older movies with the multiverse movies? And I don't know, but like where two worlds are colliding, I thought it was going to be that at first. But then it showed a ship that like came into Earth's atmosphere, and it looked exactly like the ship that was in the Fantastic Four trailer. And sure enough, they played the Fantastic Four theme song. And I was like, so now they're coming into our world. And it probably won't happen like it probably will happen within their movie, because now that I'm thinking about it, they're supposed to be fighting Galactus. Their world is supposed to be in danger. Yeah, so I think, yeah, there's a high possibility that they might lose in their movie and they might retreat. But I doubt that. I doubt they would abandon their Earth. But I think that something could happen for them to like land in the MCU's Earth. And so I think that's gonna be interesting. One last thing that I wanted to say, and I think this is like a running joke for all superhero movies, is that when there is a big problem or something big happening, there's never anybody else coming to help. I think this movie finally made it make sense for me, because in this movie, the problem happened so fast and then it was resolved so fast. Like, there couldn't have been any time for maybe a Spider-Man or a Falcon or somebody to like come in, swing in and help them out. And honestly, probably wouldn't have been anybody on Earth right now, on the MCU Earth, to come in and help them with this problem anyway. So I think because the way that they solved it, they had to go into the bad guy's brain and they had to help him resolve his own inner issues. And then he finally like reversed everything that he did to the New York City. And that happened really within like maybe 30 minutes, honestly. Like, there was no way for other heroes to come and help. And like this movie kind of like put that into perspective for me. And I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So I thought that was like, it solved the running joke for me that other superheroes just kind of ignore like big problems that are like world-ending problems. But they really don't. Like, this one could have just happened in like maybe 10, 15 minutes, 30 at the most. It just wasn't enough time for teams to be formed and people to come help, you know? So I thought that was really funny. Anyway, that is all for this type of video. If you really like this review, drop a like, comment below if you've seen this movie, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also share it with other people if they are Marvel lovers, they love action movies, they love Inside Out, because this one has that same type of feeling. Share this video with others, subscribe to my channel, please drop a like, please. It really helps me a lot and it really gets my videos more reach and more people to go see it. So please do me a favor. Thank you. As always, I'll see you all next time.